I do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. I go wherever I want to for however long I want to. I sleep for however long I want to. I work for however long I want to. If I want to take an off day, I take an off day. If I want to go out, I go out. Whatever I want to do, it's completely my life. Nobody's telling me what to do. I make my own decisions. I don't have to check in with nobody. I don't have to clock in. Like, I don't have to consult with nobody about anything before I do it. I do what I want to do when I want to do it, okay? And so I'm going to tell you guys how to sustain that life and how I sustain that life, right? This is exactly how I make money, right? I have like, yo, what's going on, gang? Welcome back to another video, okay? Right now I'm at Starbucks, so like if it's noisy or anything like that, I apologize, but I have the mic, so it should be cool. Anyway, man, today I'm going to be talking to you guys about how I afford to live overseas with no job, okay? A lot of you guys have been dropping comments like, yo, how do you make money? What do you do to make money? How are you living out there? Blah, 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 this, that, and the third. So this video, I'm going to answer a bunch of questions. Maybe not all of your questions, but I am going to answer a lot of your questions, man. So stay tuned. About to be a cool video. You're about to learn a lot. If you choose to, it's up to you. But yeah, man, like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into the video. Okay, so first thing first, man, there is two very different types of expats. You guys may or may not know this, but I'll say one is financially free and then one is just completely free. You know what I mean? And the financially free one is typically people that have, like, maybe they're teachers or maybe they have a remote job or something like that. And these people, they are able to afford to live the lifestyle that they choose. No worries at all. They make enough money to sustain. Usually these people tend to live in like more of the expat areas, like the western areas. So like in Ho Chi Minh City, this is an area called Thao Dien. Tons of western restaurants, western bars. Everything's more expensive over there. There's a lot of Europeans over there, a lot of South Africans over there as well. That's like the normal kind of like expat, like the first type of expat area. And that type of expat is cool. And also, if you don't know what an expat is, like, I'm not sure the exact meaning, but basically it's somebody that is living in a country that they aren't from. You know what I mean? So I'm an expat. I live in Vietnam. Even though it's kind of temporary, it's still like expat situation. And I want to clarify like that it's nothing wrong with this lifestyle if this is what you choose to do. But basically these people are people that like essentially just relocate their jobs. You know what I mean? So they was working a job wherever they're from. Like, for example, let's say I had a job in the US and I just decided, okay, instead of working in the US, I'm just gonna work in a different area of the world. So you like essentially are living the same life, but you are able to afford more and it's a better location, I guess you could say, right? But ultimately these people still have to like clock in, clock out. They have a boss, they work for somebody. They have to like put in for vacation. They don't get to just do whatever they want to do, you know what I'm saying? If they, let's say they don't want to work for a week, they don't have that choice, you know what I'm saying? They have to go to work, they have to clock in. And that first type, you know, you can still like, you still are enjoying life, you know what I'm saying? You get a nice apartment, you get to eat out when you want to, you get to hang out with friends when you want to, you get to travel a little bit, stuff like that. But it's still like the same 9-to-5 life, you know what I mean? You gotta work a job, you gotta go to work when you don't want to, like in the morning, blah, blah, blah. You gotta do things you don't necessarily want to do, you know what I mean? And what's interesting is a lot of those people I've noticed, they didn't necessarily come here to do that. Like a lot of times they came here like, oh, I want to travel, or oh, I want to like do some type of entrepreneur stuff, but they somehow ended up in that line of work. And I was talking to my homie about this, but it seems like Ho Chi Minh City for sure, like, you know, this is definitely like one of the most affordable countries in the world, Vietnam. It's so easy to get comfortable here. Extremely easy to get comfortable here. So literally if you can like make you $1,500, you will be so comfortable and you will not feel the need to do anything else. Me personally, I do not like that feeling. I don't like the feeling of not grinding, you know what I'm saying? I like to work. I like to wake up in the morning and pursue, you know what I'm saying? I don't enjoy like just being like comfortable. Like I always want more for myself, you know? And not in the sense of like I'm not satisfied, right? I'm always like happy, but it's just, you know, I got that dog in me, you know what I'm saying? That's what they say, right? I got that dog in me and I'm always hungry, I always want more. But some people, they say they want more, and I noticed that here a lot too. They say they want more, but because it's so comfortable, they never ever put in the work to get more, and so they just keep getting the same results, you know? So I see that a lot here, but nonetheless, like I was saying, that's that type of expat, and I'm obviously, or maybe not obvious, because you might not know me, this might be your first video, but I'm not that type of expat. I'm more of the completely free expat, that's what I'm going to talk to you about. Because like the first type, I'm not that, so I can only give you guys so much context. But the second type, which is completely free, and that's the lifestyle I live, and probably a lot of you guys are interested in knowing how to live that lifestyle. That's what I'm going to be telling you guys about today. Real lifestyle freedom, you feel me? I do whatever I want to do, whenever I want to do it. I go wherever I want to for however long I want to. I sleep for however long I want to. I work for however long I want to. If I want to take an off day, I take an off day. If I want to go out, I go out. Whatever I want to do, it's completely my life. Nobody's telling me what to do. I make my own decisions. I don't have to check in with nobody. I don't have to clock in. Like, I don't have to consult with nobody about anything before I do it. I do what I want to do when I want to do it, okay? And so I'm going to tell you guys how to sustain that life and how I sustain that life, right? So number one, you have to be very intentional about that lifestyle. You have to be very intentional about how you spend your money and the activities that you participate in. Because, you know, this lifestyle is much more riskier. You know, I don't have a guaranteed check coming in every single like month or every single couple weeks. You know, it's not like, okay, I work X amount of hours, I get X amount of dollars. It's not that. So because it's not that, I can project about how much money I'm going to make, but it's not definite. And so I have to be aware of that, and I have to be conscious of that, and I have to make sure that I'm living in a way that abides by like the worst case scenarios and stuff like that. But don't get me wrong, I am super chill, super relaxed. I'm blessed. I'm not worried about money or anything like that. I'm literally just chilling. But that comes from understanding money and understanding how to live a certain lifestyle. And one thing you definitely have to do, and I'll tell everybody this, is you need to live below your means if you want to live this lifestyle. You have to live below your means, okay? You have to. Because if, let's say, you have a really good few months, and let's say you're making like $3,000, $4,000 a month, independently, no help, right? And so let's say you get a condo, and it, for whatever reason, costs you $1,200, right? So you're making $4,000, you're paying $1,200, and you know you're straight. But let's say you have a few down months, right? Now that $3,000 turns into $2,200, or it turns into $1,700. Now you like super tight. You don't want to put yourself in that position ever, and there's no confirmation or no certainty that you won't have a bad month. So you always want to live below your means, and just in general, that's how you are able to obtain wealth. You know, that's one of the ways, you know what I'm saying, living below your means. If you live at your means, you will never have any money left over. You will always be struggling check to check. If you live at your means, it don't matter if you make $1 million. If you make $1 million, but your expenses are $1 million, you're going to be broke every single month. You're going to be living check to check. So I would say, you gotta live below your means. So these are my exact expenses. I broke them down actually. So because I just moved to the center of the city, as you guys saw the other day, I did like a whole walk around, and I just walked for like 30 minutes, and you've seen I literally can go everywhere. So I don't need to take taxis or Grabs anymore, unless I'm going to somebody's like house, like for whatever reason, like maybe, I don't know, I really don't need to do anything like that. So my expenses for like Grab and stuff like that honestly has been cut down to like maybe $20 to $35 a month. Like each ride is like $1.50 depending on where you're going, but I really don't need it. So I rarely use Grab these days. So it's almost like not even an expense. Like even $35 is like on the very high end, you know what I'm saying? Like that's like kind of unrealistic. I really don't use Grab these days, so that's that. I spend about 250 VND to 450 VND on food, and that's about $10 to $15 a day. So when you add that up a month, that's like 300 to what, 450. You know, I don't grocery shop or anything like that. I literally just order food. If I'm not ordering food, I just go and I just to the convenience store, get some food, something like that. And even that's like another place where you have to be, well, I'll give you all my expenses and then I'll tell you the intentions behind everything that I do, right? So from food, next we got rent, right? Realistically, you shouldn't spend more than $600 for rent. Depending on where you live at, what area you live, you can find something anywhere between $300 a month to $600 a month. If you want to get something really nice, yeah, $1,000, but like realistically, there's no need to spend anything more than $600 a month on rent. And so realistically, on a very, very low end, if you are living like super frugal, you could definitely get away with like $600 a month. If you live in like kind of medium, you can get away with about $850 a month. And if you live in like on the high end of the numbers I just gave, you are looking at around like $1,000 a month, right? And as you guys know, I do a lot of traveling, okay? So that's like another expense, and everybody isn't really interested in traveling like that, so that's fine. If you are, if you're not, it's cool. But that's gonna be like another, like, depends on where you're going, right? If you're just going to like Thailand, round trip might cost you like $100 to like $110, something like that. You can get you a little stay for a couple weeks, man, for like another $150. So that's like 200 something. You can really stay out there for like $350, something like that, for like a couple weeks. If you want to go somewhere like South Korea or like Japan, that flight gonna cost you like anywhere between like $250 to like $350, something like that. So traveling every single month like I do, it's going to definitely cost you anywhere between $600 to $1,000, something like that, right? But just if you don't want to do that, if you want to just live here and know about those expenses, I'll tell you guys, when I say you have to be intentional, what I mean by that, okay? So if you watch my videos, somebody commented the other day on my video, right? There's like, who flies 5,000 miles from home to eat at 7-Eleven, okay? That is somebody that is 9 times out of 10 broke. Okay, I don't listen to people like that, man. He doesn't know what he's talking about, but it's okay, bro. That's the average mindset of most people, you know what I'm saying? They don't understand not even the logic behind saving money by eating at convenience stores, but like this guy, he's never been to Asia. He doesn't understand everybody eats at convenience stores. That's the normal way of life. That's like saying who eats at Taco Bell or who eats at Wendy's. That's normal, okay? I can tell you've never been to Asia before, but it's okay. That's why I'm making all these videos so I can show you guys. So people like that don't know what they're talking about, man. But anyway, that is one way how I intentionally save money. Usually I try to only order food once a day. And usually I try to spend between 80K to 150K, somewhere in that range. If I'm feeling kind of crazy, I might get like a little extra dessert. I might get like a little mango sticky rice. I've been eating the mango sticky rice heavy lately, I ain't gonna lie. But I be working out every day too, so it balances out. But if I do that, that's gonna take me to like ordering food like around like 200, 210, something like that. But I usually try to only order food once a day. And then besides that, like in the morning, I'll eat at the convenience store. And I usually get like a little triangle. It's like a Japanese, like whatever. And that costs about maybe like 14K. You know what I'm saying? So I eat that for breakfast, work out. Then usually after I work out, I order some food. And I usually be good. And then like I maybe take a nap, I wake up, I go get a smoothie. I get like 2 smoothies a day. That's like 40K each, so that's like 80K. And then at the end of the day, like I usually just go back to the convenience store and get like a decent sized meal. And I just eat that. That's like about 40K. And that's like intentional though. I'm not like, cause I could just order breakfast, order lunch, order dinner. And that's what I did before my first time I was here. And I was spending so much money unnecessarily, like just wasting money, not understanding that although you are getting more bang for your buck, that don't mean you need to spend the same amount of bucks. You feel me? So that's like kind of what I was getting confused. I was thinking like, okay, I'm getting such a good deal. It's not a big deal that I'm spending the money because I'm getting so much for the money that I'm spending. But at the same time, it's like the goal is to spend as little money as possible and put the money up. Because this route also that I take, this independent, like this super free route, you really got to stack as much money as possible, bro, because you never know what can happen. And not only that, but you have to save for your future. You know what I'm saying? I don't have a job that's putting money away from me, nothing like that. I'm making my own investments. I got to put my own money away. I got to set myself up for the future. I'm taking that on myself, you know? So you gotta just do the things that set you up for life, man. And it's either like you let somebody else do it and you take that route, or you do it yourself and you take that route, you know what I'm saying? But it's not like easy. You gotta educate yourself and you gotta like learn about things. You gotta learn about investing. You gotta learn about all this other stuff. Even like when I travel, bro, people be leaving comments about the places I stay, stuff like that. It's like, bro, like I'm doing it. Mind you, I do not care about anybody's opinion, right? I don't care about anybody's opinion at all. I'm telling you, like the comments never bother me. I really don't care. But I'm just saying, like people like will make comments about where I'm staying, this, that, and the third. But it's like I'm able to live the way that I live for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dumb. I'm not stupid. I'm not wasting money. I understand, okay, I make X amount of dollars, and to afford to live the life I want to live, I need to spend X amount of dollars. Otherwise, I'm gonna be broke. I understand that, right? And so I live the way that I live. And also, I have completely let go of material things. Like, I don't care about anything material at all. I'm grateful for everything that I have, but I don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful, but I do not care about it, bro. It's whatever. Like, bro, like these shoes I got on right now, bro. Like, so these shoes right here, right? These are like just some New Balances, right? Bro, I got those on YouTube Live, bro. Yo, if you was there, you know. But, bro, I maybe paid like $20 for them, maybe. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I learned too. Like, bro, I bought some Adidas when I first got here. They were like $100 or whatever. Now I just wear them to work out. But you got to understand just small things like that. Like, bro, you could just go to the market and get the same shoes for like 10% of the price. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's way cheaper, bro. And so it's just little small things like that. You gotta like program your mind. You gotta deprogram your mind from the US way of thinking and reprogram your mind, you know? I don't be shopping. I don't spend like money on, I really don't waste any money. And honestly, I will say another thing that's important is, and I'm about to get into like how I actually make money in a minute, right? I would say another thing that's important is, me personally, I don't do things that don't make me money. It's very, 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 very rare that I participate in activities that do not make me money. If it does not make me money, bro, I'm not interested in it. And it's not in the sense of like, I'm just gonna work and then do nothing else. The thing is, I enjoy what I do for work. So like, my life is work. And because I enjoy my work, I enjoy my life, and I just am able to like monetize it, right? And so I would definitely say, find you something that like you could monetize like with your life and do the things that you love, so it doesn't feel like work and you don't get tired of it. If it feels like work, you're gonna create that cycle of like the 9-to-5 type thing. You're not gonna love to do it. You're gonna get bored of doing it. It's not gonna fulfill you, and you're gonna end up in the same cycle. And so that's why, like, even me, like with this YouTube channel, I could definitely put out certain type of videos over and over and over and grow the channel like exponentially, but I understand what comes with that. At a point, I'm not going to enjoy doing that type of content, but I'm going to be stuck doing that type of content, and I won't be able to progress, you know? And so I don't even take that route. I just take it the slow grind, you know what I'm saying, doing what I'm doing. But the thing is, yeah, I don't do anything that I don't get paid from. Like, very, very rarely. Like yesterday, I hung out with my homegirl. We went to a bar and stuff like that, but she's about to leave. She's about to leave Vietnam, like this her last week here. So, you know, I just went to go hang out with her, got like a smoothie and stuff like that. But typically, I don't do that type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Any type of hanging out I usually film it and make a video, you know what I'm saying? I don't like doing things that don't make me money. It's kind of like pointless to me. It's a waste of my time, you know what I'm saying? I already don't really like being around people like that. I'd rather just be by myself. So figure out a way to monetize your lifestyle. Whatever it is that you enjoy doing, figure out how you can make money from doing that, so you can keep doing what you want to do and you can turn it into work and you'll be good, you know? Okay, and so finally, this is exactly how I make money, right? I have like, I have a few streams of income, and I'll just give you guys like the main ones, right? So number one, obviously, YouTube, okay? I make an okay amount of money, you know what I'm saying? I'm able to afford to live my life, you know what I'm saying? Which is awesome, but at the same time, you know, I put in a lot of work. I upload videos essentially every single day, so it takes a lot of work. It's definitely not easy, but I enjoy doing it. I get to live my life. I get to hang out, I get to party if I want to party, I get to meet people, I get to travel, et cetera, et cetera. So YouTube is definitely I ain't gonna say the number one source of income, as in like the highest, but it's definitely a source of income that I depend on. And yeah, and so number two is, you guys, I spoke about this type of stuff in a previous video I did, so you guys can watch that. It's like, I did this video so long ago. Usually in the comments, people ask me, how do I make money, blah, blah, blah. I just refer them to this video, but so many people ask me, I'm like, man, let me just make a new video, you know? So number two is, I have rental properties, okay? So maybe 3-4 years ago now, I invested in some rental properties in the US, and so I get checks every single month from that, and that also helps me sustain my life, of course. Oh, also stock market, right? So this is like not necessarily, I want to say it's not necessarily, it's a form of income, but it's not like I don't spend this money. I just treat it like a savings account. I don't treat it as like a way to make money or like to live my life. I don't touch any of that money. I just let it stack up, let it stack up, let it stack up, let it stack up. So yeah, the stock market, and then also I have some companies that I work with, some businesses, brands that I work with. I do like creative direction, social media marketing, stuff like that. And that also is another form of income that I have. But yeah, so that is exactly how I earn money and I'm able to afford to live abroad. I would say, like I said, figure out how to monetize your lifestyle, whichever way that is. If you're a chef, figure out how to open up a restaurant. If you are an author, you write books, you got a podcast, whatever the case may be, man, it's so many ways to make money, bro. We have the internet. It's really no excuse to not be making some type of money on the internet, especially if you're young. But even if you're older, these days, bro, TikTok, bro, Instagram, like, you know what I'm saying, you can figure it out, bro. Facebook, it's so many ways to make money, man. But yeah, it's just up to you, and depending on what it is that you want to do. And also you have to change your habits, okay? You have to change your habits. You can't approach this new way of life like you was living in the past and thinking it's going to work out. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, it's not going to work. Trust me, I've tried it. It doesn't work. You know what I'm saying? You have to completely change your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you must live below your means if you want to live this lifestyle. If you want to come out here and be a teacher, or you want to work a remote job, that's cool. You can live whatever lifestyle you want, but if you want to live the lifestyle that I live, which is what you guys are asking, like how I am able to afford this, you have to live extremely, extremely below your means. And not because you can't afford more, but because it's stupid to not do that. You know what I'm saying? You're living in the most affordable country in the world. Bro, just stack the money, put it to the side, invest it. It's very easy, bro. And then, like I said, you gotta like let go of the materialism and all the other stuff that the U.S. or wherever you're from like has you like wrapped around in. Like none of that stuff matters, bro. Clothes, this, that, and third, houses, none of that stuff matters, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like what matters is, you know, your relationships with people, your mind, your energy, your aura, like all that stuff. That's what matters, and all that stuff is free. You know what I'm saying? So. But yeah, that's how I earn money, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions, man, drop them down below. And I'll catch up with y'all next time.